Good morning, everybody, to the day 3, the last day of the measurement conference. So first, I would like to share some pictures of the yesterday soccer match. I can see from the audience that the first day evening event with the beer was less demanding than this soccer match because some of the soccer players are missing from today in the morning. But I think the event was nice. We had lots of fun, and I believe that everyone who participated really enjoyed, and everybody was a winner. So thank you very much for attending this event. So as you already got used to that, we started the day with the weather forecast. The weather forecast today is very similar to yesterday. It's a perfect weather for attending the sessions and the conference. But since it's the last day, I also gathered all the weather forecasts for the countries of origin. So you can see that today, tomorrow, the weather will be very nice for returning home. And it's nice to see that actually the 39 countries participated in this event, which is perfect. So I gathered all the minimum and maximums. So if you miss the winter, the best choice, if you are free to choose where to go, is Finland, which has close to 0 degrees. And if you like the hot weather, the best is, what do you think? Very close, Thailand. So the daily schedule, today we will focus on DewesoftX, we will focus on applications, and we will focus on aerospace. So I think the sessions are now more or less clear. The lunch yesterday was great, but in the evening there is a pool party in this hotel. Everybody welcome. It's a nice atmosphere. So there you see these balls. These are hot tubs, and if you will search for me, I will be there. We also have one challenge for today. You know, we are all engineers. The brain power in this room is really great, but we are searching this evening for more than brains. So you can talk to our girls to participate in this event, and we are searching for the nicest person of the measurement conference. The hotline numbers are still there, but you know, this is only a theory. Let's see if this is really working. Nadia, can you come on stage? So, Nadia, can you tell a little bit about the bus schedules?
Yes, Jure, I can. So this is the bus schedules for today's evening. As you can see, there are a lot. They will be driving from the main hall from Termana Laško. For tomorrow, please check the schedules for the HQ visit, and check out from the hotels is at 11 o'clock. So if you need anything, I'm in front. And thank you, everybody. It was an honor.
Nadia, it's not so fast. Alida, can you also please come on the stage? And at this moment, I would really like to thank Nadia and the whole team of Dewesoft who organized this nice event. And actually, by the DHL Express, we got present from China, from from our friend David, who made this very nice handwritten script, which says that to wish the success of the measurement conference. So I think this was the key, that the measurement conference is really good. So Nadia, I think this one is really for you. We start with one project which we started 2 years ago, I think. It's a Dewesoft Summer School. So, yeah, please.
Thank you. So welcome everybody. So we will now give a brief speech about the Dewesoft Summer Camp in the 2023 edition. And also sorry for my voice, but you know, from yesterday's soccer match, I had to cheer on a lot. So let us introduce briefly with an introduction of ourselves and of the rest of the team. So my name is Daniele Limiti, and I'm a mechanical engineer. I graduated in University of Sapienza in Rome, and now I'm currently doing a PhD in Lyon in France.
Hi everybody, I'm Alberto Boffi. I'm a space engineer at Politecnico di Milano, and I am unemployed since 6 days, I think. Yeah, if I may add a few words, there will be a presentation of the new IDV-1 rocket here outside at 10 a.m. If you want to pass by, you'll see some smoke.
Hello, my name is Peter Hafner. I'm a mechanical engineer in Ljubljana, specialized in mechanics, and right now I'm doing my master's degree.
Hello everyone, my name is Tom Pro. I came from France, and I'm actually studying in the energy field engineering, and I do it with a sandwich course with Framatome, a French nuclear company.
Hello, I'm Jarne Fajdiga. I am an electrical engineer. I work on the PCB design, mainly on designing motor inverters.
So maybe you're wondering, what is the Dewesoft Summer Camp? So you can think about the Dewesoft Summer Camp essentially as this measurement conference, but really smaller and younger, essentially. Well, that's true. So yeah, the summer camp essentially is a very beautiful occasion created, a beautiful event created by Dewesoft, in which many different young people, young minds at the bachelor and master level have the opportunity to gather and really share their backgrounds. We come from really different backgrounds, so spanning from engineering all the way to IT, physics, and mathematics. So really different fields, and also very different countries all across Europe. And we have the opportunity to work together and spend some really nice days together, working, having fun, and really challenging ourselves. So the summer camp is, let's say, takes place in around 3 days, and in the mornings we have some theoretical sessions with let's say, some lessons brought by some really high-level professors and expert engineers in the field, which give all the basics and theory that we need to then have the opportunity in the afternoons to have some hands-on experience, in which we have the really nice opportunity to really put into practice what we learned during the morning sessions. So we also were followed very closely by many experts in the field, so engineers, technicians, both from Dewesoft and from companies that really work closely with Dewesoft and their instruments. During these afternoon sessions, we were divided in some groups, and so we not only experienced, let's say, how it is to work with a team, so all the team building and all the stuff related to it, but also, let's say, the summer camp was not only working really hard on our project, but also some fun times, and we had the opportunity to build bonds and relationships that, as you can see, not only were limited to the summer camp, but really extend far beyond it, as, let's say, is the Dewesoft fashion, not only to work, but also to have fun and to build really a family around it. And so in the afternoon sessions, we also had, say, a competition between each team. And for last year, the competition was on designing and really creating also a load sensor, multi-axial load sensor. So each team had the opportunity to create one. And then we also had the opportunity to test it on a real field application in rock climbing. And there was also a jury that evaluated each of our creations. And we were lucky enough to be the winners of this competition. And the prize among the, let's say, the beautiful experience was to be invited to this conference now in April. So this was about the summer camp of last year. Obviously, let's say Dewesoft wants to really continue this beautiful, let's say, journey. So also this year there will be a new edition, always, let's say, targeted to young minds at bachelor's and master level, spanning really all across the knowledge fields, and with intense days of theory and practical works in which you, say, these young people can really have experience of what it's like to be an engineer and working in the field. So for any information and let's say more information about it, you can always contact Daria. And now I'll leave the speech to my colleagues because I really want to know, like, guys, what do you think was for you the best part, and why do you think it's nice and cool to participate to the Dewesoft Summer Camp?
What made the difference for me was to have the chance to meet people as passionate as me about the subject, and to put into practice what we learned during the mornings with some hands-on sessions. What do you think, Peter?
For me, summer camp was the first international experience where I learned how to communicate and work with people from other countries and expertise, and it made me really a lot more comfortable here on this conference. But Alberto, what do you think this year's hands-on challenge will be?
Well, I'm not sure, but what I do know is that the robot they presented on Monday was really cool. So, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Worth mentioning, this year we are repeating the summer camp. The challenge will be even more exciting. So if you know any talented and prospective engineers, students, please do make sure to spread the word. And now, my name is Vid. Good morning to everyone. Together, we will navigate through the third and final keynote of this measurement conference, and also the best keynote. But before we start, great development requires an even better team. And today's keynote is no exception. Joining us on stage will be 9 other speakers, each and everyone contributing their crucial part to the content. But please now, let's show them some love. Okay, when it comes to our software, DewesoftX is always at the heart of all measurements, regardless of the application. So that's where we will start today.
Hello, everybody. Dewesoft has always been the software solution for all your measurement tests. And on top of that, easy to use. This motto was passed down to the younger generations of engineers, so to us, and we try to uphold it. But however, we couldn't do it without you and your crucial inputs. Based on your input, we shape our software product and also prioritize our development. So thank you for that. We looked into the statistic, and in the past 4 years, so from the previous measurement conference, we did over 6,000 new features based on your input. And all these features were implemented in 21 DewesoftX releases. The 22nd is waiting to be released next week. And when we looked into these features, we have some massive ones, some with the extensive workload, such as processing markers. But we also do smaller features, like auto scale on the recorder of the x-axis. So we do all features, small and big ones. So we do everything to make your everyday work easier. Now I would like to welcome Domen, our senior development software engineer, to present you some of these features.
Okay. So we always try to make everything to use as easy as possible. For example, offline setup configuration. You can easily adapt your own setups in your own office without any hardware equipment connected. You can just open the setup that was once created with your devices on the field and then continue with your configuration. Channel filters has also been added. It allows you to search for channels in an easier fashion in a nicer way. They can filter channels in the grid based on various channel properties and can be saved for later usage and are available under various channel grids and math and formula setup. Creating and managing displays is now faster and easier to use. Just simply drag over the display to select multiple widgets at once. And once they are selected, you can group them together as one and perform actions on all of them at once. We also supported that you can modify the time axis and zoom in on the display directly with our new time overviews zoom handles. If you liked multiple selection in widgets, you also love it in the sequencer. We added multiple selection of blocks. We also supported multiple keyboard shortcuts and various mouse wheel scrolling operations. As an added bonus, we have added a new search field to search for channel action blocks and with updated descriptions. And with increased page size, we can focus on more work to be done on the page itself. We always try to make and improve analysis, and a big part of data acquisition is data analysis. This is why we have made processing markers. They are visual markers that can be placed on the widgets to highlight crucial data points in the widget. As a result, they create multiple input new DewesoftX channels that can be added for further analysis. Markers are seamlessly synced between 2D and 3D graphs and also between the dedicated marker table that was added to display markers in a new table-like fashion. The text box widget also got a total makeover. It now supports rich text formatting. So you can add complex formats and display images on the widget itself. And a new great addition to our widget collection is, of course, our new spreadsheet widget. It allows you to arrange data in cells, and you can use a lot of custom formats to display cells in a nice, easier way. Both widgets support writing custom expressions that can be used and retrieve metadata information from channels and data files and much more. And we believe these two tools will be able to create new measurement reports easier than ever.
So on such events as keynotes, we like to point out the new features and new functionalities. But for the software, it's also crucial to have stability, right, and good performance. And if you saw on the day one that our hardware team is doing really well on making really good hardware, but this hardware also demands a high-performance software. And we have a lot of demanding users who wants to have a lot of channels connected in a big system over DewesoftNet with high channel count, and also on top they use some performance tools such as models such as power model or order tracking. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You are the demanding users. But we need to prepare our software to work with all your versatile system configuration. This is why we put a lot of work also on DewesoftNet and the stability of DewesoftNet. We added also new features, so the counter channels and also the channel limits are not transferred over the net. Our license option was also modified, so the license that you have on the measurement computer is now transferred to the master client. And additionally, we added some system configuration, some channels to track your bandwidth of the whole network configuration. But if you want to expand even further your system, we are also, the last 4 years, we updated the OPC-UA and Modbus protocols, but additionally, we also integrated the OpenDAC. So from 24.4 version of DewesoftX, Dewesoft will be compliant with OpenDAC devices. Thank you.
One of the greatest powers of Dewesoft has always been the ability to cover and perform multi-physics measurements, covering a large number of applications as well. Measured data is always perfectly synchronized, and the user always uses only one easy-to-use software. With dynamic phenomena, vibration and noise are always or pretty much always present. So we are starting things first with the NVH. In terms of NVH, Dewesoft truly offers a one-stop shop for all your measurements. From core tools such as FFT to advanced structural tools such as model test and analysis, complete set of rotating machinery solutions and multiple acoustics modules. Anything you need, we got you covered. On the screen, you can see a data file that has been recorded doing an impact test on a snowboard. But since the days of first implementation of modal test, massive steps have been taken on the modal front. Now let's see which.
Thank you. All structures vibrate. And what better way to figure out how they vibrate than by using modal test? Now, setting up modal test is a huge part of actually performing the measurement. Whether you're doing a simple roving hammer excitation or a multiple shaker excitation, it's both time consuming and it's very error prone. So in the past couple of years, we've taken a lot of steps to try to simplify this for the end user. So we have to repeat the measurement as few times as possible. So for that, we've basically simplified channel setups. We have added predefined displays. We have made the results slightly more persistent than they are usually in Dewesoft, so that you can add points into the structure during the measurement when you figure out that you're missing something or something like that. Or just simple stuff like showing arrows on the model geometry so you know where you have to hit with the hammer next to get the measurement. But modal test really is only half of the battle. The other half really is analyzing the data that you get, because just measurement you can't do much with. So for that purpose, we've teamed up with world-renowned experts from structural dynamics called LADISC, and together we developed something called Modal Analysis Module. And Modal Analysis Module allows you to, without ever leaving DewesoftX, with just a couple of clicks on the dedicated stabilization diagram, to recover the mode shapes of your structure, or to get the damping ratios, or to see the nice animations of the mode shapes, or to calculate automech or complexity diagrams and stuff like that. So I think this is a really nice solution. And after you're done with analysis and you're happy with what you got, you can very easily export the data for comparison, for example, with FEM models, or even just export the loop of animation for including into a PowerPoint presentation for your next management meeting, so that they know that you're doing a good job. But what if you're not in control of the excitation source? Now, for the longest time, we've had frequency ODS, operating deflection shapes inside Dewesoft, so this is nothing really new. But over the years, we've received also a lot of kind of requests to analyze the structures in time domain, because people want to know how their structures behave when, for example, a lightning strikes near them or something like that. So for that purpose, we have developed a dedicated module called Time ODS that is very easy to set up and works really nicely, I think, also in practice. But what if you're really, really not in control of the excitation? So say, for example, for large buildings or for bridges in Italy, we now have a very nice partnership with guys from SWIPS and their Artemis software. And you can now easily import time domain data and geometry into the Artemis software without, you just load up the DXD file. And then you can analyze the OMAS with their advanced algorithms pretty much out of the box. So it's a really nice solution. And the Sweeps guys are here also today on this conference, so you can talk to them if you want in person. So that's it for the model side of things.
Thank you, Andrei. Besides Modal Suite, there was another even more fundamental tool completely reworked, which is counters. So let's see now what these new features bring to the user.
Good morning. With our recent upgrade to the counters, we have reworked the sensor calculation and put it into a dedicated math module. That means that counters in Dewesoft now have all the benefits that other math modules have inside Dewesoft. For instance, in analysis, you can change parameters of calculation and recalculate angle and frequency. You can also have multiple instances of counter calculation, each performing different calculation based on the same raw counter inputs. And now for the first time, you can use inputs into counter calculation other than just a local counter channel. For instance, channels stored in our Obsidian logger or channels transfer or net. While reworking it, putting it into a dedicated math module, we have also rewritten it. And we have done it so in a way that enables us to put the very same counter functionality that's available in DewesoftX into our embedded devices. Most importantly, into our new generation of X devices based on OpenDAC. The new version of counters is the new default inside DewesoftX since 24.1, but we also provide backward compatibility. Old setups and all data files load with previous version of counters, and we provide one-click upgrade. After upgrade, all connections to counter channels are restored and the rest of your setup stays intact, which means none of your existing setups have to be redone or reconfigured. In addition, we have implemented some often requested features like software filtering, setup angle wrapping, and the last one, teeth size adjustment. And let me tell you a little bit more about the last one. So when angle and frequency calculation is performed, we assume that gaps between successive pulses or between successive teeth from the sensor are the one that follow from sensor definition. However, in reality, the actual gaps may deviate slightly from this ideal value due to various reasons, for instance, imperfections in manufacturing the sensor. So what we do, we measure the gaps between successive teeth at steady speed and use those for angle and frequency calculation. Right here, we have an image of speed and angle before and after teeth adjustment. In the upper image, you can see that noise in speed has been reduced significantly after the adjustment, and in the lower image, you can see the angle is adjusted as well. Now, the adjustments in angle are tiny because we are talking about small deviations here, but precise angle measurements are very important in certain applications, such as, for instance, torsional vibration. Thank you.
Thank you, Method. Improvements like this, I think they will make a lot of users' lives a little bit easier. In terms of counters, they are often deep-rooted in different rotating machinery applications. Here, we support applications ranging from rotational and torsional vibration to advanced order tracking and orbit analysis to analyze turbines. Once the measurement and analysis on a certain turbo machinery has been performed, our rotor balancer module can be used to optimize the operation. Whenever there is vibration, noise is emitted as a result. In terms of acoustics, we support anything from IEC-compliant octave analysis to IEC-compliant sound level meter and to ISO-coherent solutions for sound power and sound intensity. All of these are supported in Dewesoft. To evaluate subjective perception of different sounds, we offer a sound quality solution with multiple calculation parameters. Which brings me now to another important area of applications for us, which is power. In terms of power too, we offer a broad range of solutions, catering to multiple use cases. Anything from analysis of power and power quality on the grid, or e-mobility investigations of efficiency, batteries, motors, and inverters. All of these can be done using the same software. And to see just an example in action, this is a measurement done on Dewesoft motorbike, multiple power parameters calculated simultaneously, signals measured using the XHS power device. But ground vehicles is not where we stop. Let's see what have been done recently for the aircraft power.
Well, the power module has always supported various frequency, including the 400 Hz that is powering the aircraft. The aerospace industry introduced their own set of standards. And a few years ago, the first customer approached us with a request to precisely comply with some of those standards. We listened and introduced two new modules, the DC aircraft power and the AC aircraft power, which supports both single-phase and three-phase star configurations. The implementation details differ slightly, but you should basically get very comparable results to the power module. Last year, we also introduced harmonics and added compatibility with the vector scope display. But wait, I was supposed to tell something else. What was it? Oh, right. Jure asked me to explain why we developed this module. And let me tell you a little secret. You probably know which are the biggest players in the aerospace industry. You know, that would be A for Airbus, B for Boeing, C for Comac. But you see, there's something missing. But you know, now with this module, we can finally say that we added the 4 biggest players to the market, D for Dewesoft. Thank you.
Thank you, Mojca. Besides aircraft power, there was another more broadly applicable and even more crucial tool implemented for e-mobility analysis. Method, let's see a little bit more about motor analysis module.
Our power module has always been a great tool to analyze electrical properties of electrical motors. It offers a wide range of different parameters and different hardware configurations, but with the addition of mechanical power calculation inside our power module, we are expanding its capabilities into applications such as motor efficiency optimization. The mechanical power inside our power module is calculated from mechanical rotation speed and from torque, and is calculated in sync with electrical quantities. That means that you can analyze parameters such as efficiency and losses in the motor on a period-by-period basis. You can also create an efficiency map. In addition, we are calculating Park and Clark transform, also known as alpha, beta, and DQ transforms. These are the 2 transforms that are used in algorithms in inverters for control of synchronous motors and can now be calculated right inside Dewesoft for the input currents and input voltages. To get the mechanical rotation, you can use all the standard ways inside Dewesoft I'm sure you use and love, like counters and analog sensors. But especially for motor analysis, we introduced another type of sensor. We have supported another type of sensors, which is called a resolver sensor. And for that, we have a new math module called Resolver Sensor Math. And this one takes the modulated sine and cosine signals from the sensor, resolver sensor, and calculates angle of rotation and rotational speed from it. It is just one of the 3 new modules inside DewesoftX that we have developed for this application. The other one is 2D, 3D mapping map, which takes the value of the input channel and translates it onto a 2D map, which is defined by two other channels. In motor analysis, we use it, for instance, to create torque versus speed map of motor's efficiency. And the last one is contour plot widget. This one takes the three-dimensional data and shows it in 2 dimensions using contour plots, contours and isolines. While the development of this was primarily motivated by motor analysis application, all these modules are useful as a standalone modules. They work equally well, and they're freely available inside DewesoftX. We believe they will be of a great value in many other applications as well. And to wrap up, here's an example of our upgraded of an efficiency measurement using our upgraded power module and all the new modules working together. Thank you.
I guess we all know that in order to analyze something, you first need a good enough sensor to measure it. So therefore, we are proud to announce the beginning of a new era in Dewesoft history, and with it, the first ever Dewesoft sensor.
Thank you, Rick. I'm more than honored today to present you the DCCT sensor. But this is not just another sensor on the market. This is the first ever Dewesoft designed sensor. It uses Platitia zero flux current technology, so we can offer something really unique on the current measurement market. The technology enables us to go smaller. Actually, we are up to 50% smaller than our zero flux transducers. It's so small, you can carry one in your back pocket. Even though we shrinked in size by quite a bit, we kept the high range. It can measure the currents up to 1000 amp with an amazing bandwidth of 500 kilohertz at -3 dB point. All that we can measure with a low offset, low drift, and low power consumption, both AC and DC currents. We know this sensor will be used for many different applications on the market. So we prepared 2 models with different hole size so you can pick the right sensor that fits your need. The smaller one is equipped with 22mm core, and the bigger one is with 45mm core. But enough of talking. Let's see what it can do. I'll connect online. We have the signal to our demo show car outside. We have connected the DCCT on the DC part of the powertrain. And so at the right top, you can see the current. We are currently flowing 1.2 amps. I guess the guys are cold outside, so they need to warm up the car. So we can measure the idle currents and the high peaks with the same accuracy as we promised. So let's call the guys. So guys, let's hit it. Let's see what we can do. I hope, yeah, it's going. So we see it drove away. So we can measure. This car has around 300 amp of peak and some voltage. Thank you. If anybody wants to try it, we have 30 kilometers of electric range outside, so. Huh?
Okay, by now, I guess you realize that with Dewesoft, you can measure pretty much anything you want. But measurements are not all that we do. Every year, we add a little bit more to our control capabilities, and also here, we can offer a unique set of advantages to our users. Aljaž, let's hear about that.
Thank you, Vít. So, when it comes to the world of real-time control, our devices really are the ultimate control front end. And that's because any of our EtherCAT devices can be connected to any EtherCAT controller and used for any application. That means that anything from the high-resolution series, the rugged Kryptons, high-channel count iolites, and to the latest Obsidian can be used with any EtherCAT controller, like from the CLMC, MTS, NI, Beckhoff, and any others. And all of that can be used in different applications, ranging from material testing, vehicle durability, and even rocket engine test benches. To support all that, in the last few years, we have developed a new ENI export plugin which supports all devices of all the families of our EtherCAT devices, and we have implemented firmware features like onboard calculation to engineering units, compatibility with LabVIEW, and low-pass filtering. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias. We are ending our journey on a high note, so to say, which is with all of the aerospace capabilities and a special guest that we have. In order to hear about that, I would like to invite President of Dewesoft France, Loïc Siré, to join us on the stage.
Thank you, Will. So, yes, good morning to all, and thank you for this introduction. I will do very short because I see the time pass, but let's see what we do in the aerospace. Aerospace for us, it's a huge business-wise, and in this main industry, we have a lot of possibilities of NVH, of control, of power supply, and we have some add-on in top of this for all the different telemetry stream, and particular buses we can have in aeronautic. So like you see, ARINC, telemetry, chapter 10, all are already supported and do Dewesoft hardware and software, a huge possibilities and huge important player in this game. We have some more add-on value recently with all the sign processing to be able to be compatible with other players for excitation of satellite. You can use the COLA signal. It's a standard signal for all the excitation. So we open the possibilities of Dewesoft to all this world of aeronautical stuff. Recently, we add some aircraft application, some possibilities for all the static noise certification, and this is totally new for us, but it's opens some new market required by international civil aviation with related VCA. So it's a new open doors for another small niche inside the aeronautic business. And just to conclude my short introduction about all possibilities turn around aerospace application, I want to introduce Benjamin from CLMC, who will show you what we could do and what we do since several years in aeronautic stuff. So welcome, Benjamin.
Okay, we're done. Hi, everybody. I'm working for FH CLMC, which is a system integrator specialized in industrial processes. I'm pleased to be here with you to speak about innovative ground operation system and solution for space. After a few words about the company I'm working for, I will be pleased to speak about our common history between Dewesoft and FH CLMC in aerospace. Then I will explain how we are carrying out the test benches of new space companies in Europe. Lastly, I will introduce a revolutionary ground test facility for upcoming launchers and space engine. So, FH is one of the major companies in Europe for construction, infrastructures, concession, and system. Eiffage is divided in smaller entities, and the one that I'm working for, so-called Eiffage Clemency, designs, builds, operates, and maintains systems in electrical, industrial, and energy engineering. Let's turn to what we do in space sector by viewing this short video. Okay, so what about our history with Dewesoft in aerospace? Personally, I discovered Dewesoft in 2009 when I was working in the European spaceport in French Guiana on Ariane 5, on Vega, and by the time being also on Soyuz. At this time, we were looking for replacing old analog system, Laben, by digital system. During all these years, we realized structuring projects for both our companies. One of the major projects was presented during the last conference in Strobolieu, the missile and rocket engine test benches. This project phase ended with success in 2023. Now we are running a maintenance and operation contract phase up to 2033. So a nice 10-year contract with French Ministry of Defense. To achieve this kind of success, this is not only a matter of technology. This is also a question of trust. And with Loic, with Jure, and more globally with all the Dewesoft people and my people, we really achieve a high level of confidence. Let's turn to the future. To define the future European ground infrastructure standard, we are convinced also in my company by the benefits of interoperability. We design our software, Cyclone, and more globally our test bench solution in that way. Cyclone has been developed with an interoperable core based on open standards such as OPC UA, using also the Ethercat network. In parallel, specific software and hardware modules are integrated to adapt the bench to the product, whether it concerns a military missile, a plane, or a launcher this morning. The interoperability concept is applied on new test and launch system for Callisto, which will be launched from French Guiana as the first reusable stage for Europe. This control bench deployed on Cyclone as a SCADA and as a real-time Ethercat master. These ground means are compatible with upcoming launcher which will be also launched from Callisto Launchpad. Today in Europe, there are more or less 10 launch-based projects and 30 new launchers under development. Interoperability is one of the key success factors. This one of the expectation of Latitude, which is a French manufacturer of small launcher. Latitude start its activity during COVID, and the company is developing so fast. Latitude is designing Zephyr, which is a launcher with a capacity of 100 kg in low Earth orbit. Contrary to the traditional space agency project, the method of development is purely agile. I'm going to highlight this approach in the next slide. We started with only one component, the engine igniter, controlled by a Cyclone control bench in a very small form factor. About the architecture, we have data acquisition on one hand and real-time on the other hand. The originality comes from the fact that CLEMC only delivers the toolbox on Cyclone, based on Cyclone, whereas the integration task has been performed by the end customer itself. This was COVID. Have a look on this first step video. Not so impressive, it was the beginning. Then subcomponents were assembled to achieve an engine test. The control bench architecture does not evolve so much for the engine testbed. The main point was that the applicative software became more complex. The next video shows the engine test, which is really more impressive. This was in the Shetland Island in the north of Europe with my Saxavord colleague. The idea of the control bench is to follow the whole life cycle from design to launch phase. So how is evolving the ground segment to achieve the launch phase? The control bench will integrate Cyclone redundant master on the FR4. This is in-house development, certified by the FR4 group, which contribute to availability and safety. As I said, the control bench is used both for very simple operation, such as the igniter test, but also for complex application or operation on the launch pad. Lastly, let's turn to the European bench for engine and stage testing. We can say that this project is revolutionary because in Europe it will seriously contribute to define ground infrastructure standard. The challenge is that the surge in private small launchers in Europe highlights a critical challenge. 99% of the launcher lifespan is spent on the ground. With launch representing only a fraction of the total lifespan, ground segment, capital, and operational expenses become very important. Our solution is, with this project, EUBEST, it seeks to address the inefficiency and high cost associated with individualized ground infrastructure. One launcher, one ground system. It is no sense. You have no tank station for Volvo, tank station or gas station for Renault. So how we are going to handle that? By offering standardized ground segment services to launchers and consequently to reduce the cost of a kilogram sent in orbit. EUBEST focus on developing and operating an interoperable, modular, and mobile test bench for rocket engine and stage. The aim is to serve multiple launchers across various locations and development phase. This ensures also a uniform user and experience. This concept will therefore enhance efficiency, reduce cost, and streamline operation. It is also an innovative concept that uses technology such as the digital twin for the launcher commissioning. The expected performance is to conduct 200 tests per year. In the US, we are about 1,000, at a target price of around 25K for engine up to 500 kilonewton of thrust capability. So EU-Best was selected by the European Commission under its Horizon Europe funding program with an amount of 5 million. Coordinated by FH CLMC, EU-Best is supported by a consortium of key players in the European space industry. Space Dream, as the technical leader, OHB from Germany, the Catalonia Space Agency and Catalonia Airports, where the test bench will be settled. Airports are not so used, so we have some slot time. The end user interested in the use of this interoperable test system come from all over Europe. We have engine manufacturer, we have also launchers manufacturer, and 2 launch bases interested in. So one in Germany and one in with Suez. So EU-Best pioneers a unique engine testing facility that aligns perfectly with Europe's vision for the future of space exploration. Since such a complete engine testing facility doesn't currently exist, this interoperable facility could be operated across Europe and even globally. It will significantly strengthen and elevate European space transportation capabilities and ground technology for launcher. So we have a small test bench that you could put into practice, but sorry, I did not borrow a rocket engine for this afternoon demo. We will be in the green hall. Thank you for your attention, and I will be pleased to answer any of your questions. Voilà.
Thank you. Thank you, Benjamin. So to conclude this keynote, I just want to show you and to remember you during all the day. You have in the blue hall and in the green hall a lot of different presentations coming from Dewesoft, and most of them coming from directly some customer. So I invite you, if you're not yet registered for this presentation, let's go to see some customer presentation with a lot of things and a lot of example what they already done with Dewesoft. Thank you for all.